posterity. So we'll start. I will swear in the new chief of police, Pete Roth, and then Chief Roth will swear in his new officers.
Don't be so scared.
All right. Repeat after me. I, Pete Roth, do solemnly swear
I, Pete Roth, do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and that I will faithfully and impartially,
and that I will faithfully and impartially,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
discharge all duties of police chief
discharge all duties as police chief
for the city of Windsor Heights, Polk County, Iowa,
for the city of Windsor Heights, Polk County, Iowa,
as now or hereafter required by law.
as now or hereafter required by law.
Congratulations.
Well, thank you, Mayor Council. I do now have the honor and pleasure to swear in our two new officers, Officer Ingram and Officer Brown. Will you please step forward? You raise your right hand. I state your name, do solemnly swear. I, William Brown, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States. I will support the Constitution of the United States. The Constitution of the State of Iowa. The Constitution of the State of Iowa. And that I will faithfully and impartially. To the best of my ability. To the best of my ability. Discharge all duties of a peace officer. Discharge all duties of a peace officer. For the city of Windsor Heights, Polk County, Iowa. For the city of Windsor Heights, Polk County, Iowa. As now or hereafter required by law. As now or hereafter required by law.
Yes, yes.
Gentlemen.
Thank you.
So we start.
Chief Roth, you don't have any big speech? Okay.
I think your family wants photos with you real quick up here.
Yeah, if you want photos. No, you're fine. You're fine.
Does anybody else have photos? Thank you.
Derek.
Very nice.
Glad to see you here.
Come on.
Collective boos from the crowd. Here, I'll get.
1, 2, 3. Oh, look, the daughter's even in green. Good to see you. Thanks so much. Thank you for letting us take time. Yeah. The daughter's even in green. Oh my goodness.
Oh. Maybe you're blocked from the.
She's the photographer.
Hey, Cody, want to get all?
You good? Can we conduct the business of government?
I listened. I got
Jim, you want to get your family back here so they can take photos? Because I don't know if we gave you that. All right. Let us reconvene the government here. Lauren?
Nobody wanted to stay for the government.
Yes, yes, not really.
I came with a water story. I'm pleasantly surprised. That's scary.
All right.
I feel pretty safe.
It is 6:03. Monday, June 5th, 2023, regular meeting of the Windsor Heights City Council. Roll call.
Those have to stay open, unfortunately.
You gotta leave one open at least.
Scary. Here. Jones is absent. Libby?
Yes.
Campbell? Here.
Yes, here.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Approval of the agenda.
Some second.
Roll call.
Scary, yes. Libby?
Yes.
Campbell?
Yes. Yes.
3A, public hearing on ordinance number 2305, an ordinance amending chapter 55 of the Code of Ordinances for Windsor Heights related to the types and numbers of animals permitted.
Move to open the public hearing.
Roll call.
Scary? Yes. Libby?
Yes.
Campbell?
Yes. Yes.
Any public comment on this? So for the record, what this is it's to prohibit the animals that were recommended to be prohibited by the ARL. I would note the proposed ordinance actually double dips as far as prohibition. If you read in 1C, it says domestic poultry and fowl, that is poultry and fowl ordinarily raised for production of eggs or meat, comma, and then says, but not roosters. But then if you go down to 2A and 2B, it says the same thing. So this is not written appropriately. So if, assuming council is okay with passing this, what I would ask to happen is that in 1C, where it says, but not roosters, geese, guinea fowl, or peacocks, that part is excised and that the 2A and 2B remain, if that makes sense to everybody.
C and D as well, right?
Yes, I could not forget the guinea fowl or the
There you go.
peacocks.
Thank
I
you.
don't want to forget them. Hearing no public comment, motion to close.
So moved.
Scary? Yes. Libby?
Yes.
Campbell? Yes.
Yes.
3B, consideration of the first reading of ordinance number 2305 as
To approve as suggested earlier with the amendments in C and D.
with the language being excised from 1C.
Yes.
Roll call.
Scary? Yes. Libby?
Yes.
Campbell? Yes.
Yes.
Public forum, this is the time set aside for comments from the public on topics of city business other than those listed on the agenda. No action may be taken. Please come to the podium, state your name and address for the record, and keep your comments to no more than 5 minutes. There's nobody online. Okay, no public comment. 5, consent agenda.
Second.
Roll call.
Scary? Yes. Libby?
Yes.
Campbell? Yes.
Yes.
6A, new business, stormwater presentation from Bolton and Mink.
We're moving that one to July.
Okay,
What you came for?
Bob.
well, Bob, if I would have known, I would have told you, but all right, 5B, consideration of resolution number 2023-37, a resolution authorizing the city of Windsor Heights, Iowa to submit sites to the Des Moines Metropolitan Planning Organization, better known as the MPO, for electric vehicle charging stations.
Motion approved.
Second.
Rochelle or Justin? Please make sure the microphone is on.
Justin Ernst Boldmank. This is the resolution for the EV charging stations that we discussed, I think, the last council meeting. This is after, I think it just sets the dollar amount. After some discussion and further working on the sites, this one is just for the Colby Park area due to the fast turnaround and needing to get Sam's Club's permission to go on the Colby Park, or not Colby Park, but the Apple Valley, that area. Lease agreement will be needed and that go through all that. And with a quick turnaround, it just wasn't enough time to get that all submitted. So with that, it's just the Colby Park one.
So this only for one,
It is,
or it's for
it
two?
is 2 stations at one location.
Location.
Yeah.
Okay, so I did have conversations with a variety of folks, people who own them, gas station owners, whatever else. And so I was like, because I'm not sure, do you have them at the same location? Do you have them what's the ideal location? Obviously, Windsor Heights would be an ideal location just because we're off the interstate, but Colby Park has not been identified as a good location.
Sure.
So you need somewhere where people can, and then the other recommendation was to have a 2 and a 3, to have one of each. And I think that was an earlier conversation we had as well. And mostly because people need to be able to do something while they're having their car charged. So having it at a retail setting is ideal. That's why they're not largely, that's why they're not flourishing at like gas stations, right? Like gas stations aren't putting them in because that's not a retail setting where somebody's going to go shop like they might do at a Walmart or a Sam's Club or Hy-Vee or, go in. So that's my only concern is with all the other changes we have. I mean, don't get me wrong. I want these in Windsor Heights. I'm just trying to figure out, do we have to say where they're actually going to go? I mean, is that part of it? Or do we have flexibility in relocating them?
So to talk about the 2-phase and level 2 and 3,
Mhm,
it depends upon the power source.
mhm.
Colby Park, in order to get a level 3 charger down there was very expensive because I think it had to come through Walmart, go across property and go down like
Okay.
68th Street. Level 2 is close. Level 3 for the Sam's Club, the bus shelter was literally right there. And I think it was very economical to put those in right there. And those are the 2 locations. Yes, you do have to tell them where, so what's happening is the MPO is taking the lead on this. They're collecting all these sites. I want to say there, last time I looked, there was 20 or 30 throughout the whole metro area for the MPO organization. I don't know how they're collecting, like going to decide on what they go for and what they don't. They are handling all the writing on this. So you have to say it's going to go here with the dollar amount up to with the resolution. So that's what the resolution's for. Kind of answer your question. It was a fast turnaround. It was a fast turnaround because originally it was, in order to get the grant, you have to have a minimum of $750,000 project. We didn't figure we had enough area to cover that. So what the MPO and then SERPTA is also doing is going around the communities and kind of pool that together to get a bigger project to get that 750,000. That came in late. And then, so now they had just extended for another 2 weeks to get all these council resolutions in. So unfortunately, it's been a quick gathering of facts on these things.
It's the first part of what we were talking about. Getting approval for the bus areas or Sam's Club is difficult.
lengthy to find the person to talk to. So everything that has to go from talking to Colby Interest, everything, it's a lease agreement. So everything has to go through them.
I can attest to how difficult that is.
I know, we've been dealing with the old tire place for years. and
Right.
years.
And so you'd have to go through that whole thing. About putting on private property, you probably have to have a lease agreement and whatnot with them. And how do you do? And then with this grant, it has to have 2 chargers. So it's just not just one sitting there. You have to add 2. And so it takes up a little bit more real estate with that sort of stuff. So
So is Aldi too far away?
I think you're gonna, unfortunately, the
The
timing,
same.
you're gonna have the same thing where you're gonna have to go through and get,
Because Colby owns it all. They
right.
just.
And I don't know what the
let it.
lease agreements are, so. This is the first year this has come out, so it's part of the infrastructure package, so it's gonna keep on coming out. It's just, so
if we-
next year, there's an opportunity to go for it again
if
and
we
whatnot.
don't do this, are we jeopardizing anything else?
No, you just gather some more. You have the information now to go for it and get the ball rolling now for a year away to submit next year.
Teresa, I think. you could put this in court.
Yeah, no,
I can see it being an attraction for people to come and charge their vehicle while they access the trail, while they access park amenities. Even if they're only in Colby Park for a couple of hours, that would still add some back to their, back to their car. And I think it ties into our zero carbon emission goal as well in supporting it.
it was the only public or the city-owned parcel that was readily available, I guess.
Besides here.
Correct. Yeah. Then it'd come down to power source again and how to do that. But yeah, it's
Where,
possible.
besides, do we have any city property that you can put a level 3 station on?
No, because the power generated is usually from commercial, like big areas like Sam's and Walmart. I don't even know Hy-Vee might, but that's not public, right? So you gotta think of the bigger stores that require a lot of energy that have the phase 3 power.
I know that this has come on pretty quickly from, I don't know if it's the federal government or whoever, but so if the city commits to this, I mean, or if the city passes this resolution, is it even guaranteed that it'll happen for one?
No,
Okay. And then the second thing is that, when is the deadline?
I think it's in a week, the 12th, I want to say, is the deadline to submit to the MPO, and then they have to put it together.
All right.
What if is it possible to, if we were to approve this, could we amend our, like, the location of this? If we talk to Sam's Club and they decide that they're gonna be nice and allow this at the bus station?
I mean,
is that something?
if we're being realistic, what do you think it would take to get an answer from Sam's Club? What, 6 months? I think
Yeah.
it'd probably be,
We're on how many months?
yeah, if you're lucky.
It's just
Yeah, I would say,
2 months for that.
right, right. And you're talking and lease agreement and stuff like that with this as well. So I would say, yes, I think you have to pick a spot. And I don't think so, because when the MPO writes, so the agreement, or not the agreement, but to go in for this grant, they're gonna list, this is where it's gonna go. And then they have to talk about the pros of this location, right? So they're gonna probably talk specifically about Colby Park. And I don't know if you can just about face and move it somewhere. I don't think it's not gonna work. Yeah,
Choose a location. I mean, it could be instead of the northeast corner. of the-
yes, but you're talking,
but it
right.
could be somewhere completely
Yeah.
different than that.
Because the MPO was asking for approval from like Stan or Walmart or wherever you would put it over there. So they're asking for the approval of the landowner. So I don't think, the way it sounded like, that's gonna be months in the taking. That's why if next year you start looking into it and start having the conversation, and hopefully the same person stays the contact for Sam's Club till next year. So
Would Apple Valley be a location to consider? Because Colby probably has more control over that parking lot and facility, since it's,
I think the biggest thing is you got to consider they're going to lose probably 4 parking stalls at a
Sure.
minimum.
Yep.
So that's why they have a little bit more parking over in that area. One of the other ones I thought was maybe Sherwood Forest area, because you're off of Hickman, but I don't know what the power. It's not that bad. It's just obviously the level. I don't know if everybody knows all about them, but the level 3 is a faster charger. The level 2 is less, it's just the power supply and dealing with all that stuff.
So we're looking at 2 level 2 chargers at Colby Park.
You have to do 2. You can't just do 1. It has to be 2.
So how much money are we out if we say we approve this and then we either A, don't receive the money, or B, we decide, let's work on this Sam's Club thing still. Do we have to put this in? Is this something that, would this affect the MPO though, and the rest of the people that are looking for, if we don't?
I don't think so, because the last time I looked, there was 25 locations, and you're talking, I'd have to look this up. Depends upon what they are, the locations. I mean, some of these projects are gonna be $500,000, right? Just because you have 2 level 3 chargers and it costs, I don't know, $100,000 to run. So it adds up. And sometimes they're adding or doing modifications to parking lots or something like this one. I think was, I don't remember that off the top of my head if you have that, but I want to say, yeah, because it was 20% match, right? So,
Yeah, so they're not for us.
yeah,
Yeah, it's for this one specifically.
Right.
$10,000.
yeah.
For us. Yeah, for us.
So when you add, I mean, you could have a couple of these sites that are hitting them by themselves, right? It's just, and yeah, I don't
So
think.
where would they go in Colby Park?
It,
Park renovations, we don't even know.
it'd be probably, no, it'd be on one of those parking stalls. I was thinking to the north, some, I'm not completely out of the way, but kind of out of the way if they're not getting used all the time. So like North Row, like along School Street. Because that wouldn't be. So the power has to come from that way, it'd be less disruption. Like that.
And there's still a possibility we want to get it chosen.
Right, yeah. I mean,
So,
the MPO is
Why
picking,
would we put it in your park? That's silly.
right.
It's just a. something.
Mhm.
We can work on the parking lot at Sam's Club and work with them and try to get something.
Or another location if you had, whichever.
I'm not, what's our cost again, if this does happen?
$41,000.
Up to. Yeah, I'm okay, like I said, I dug in and did a little bit of
Yeah.
research, and it's like ideal location, you know what I mean?
Oh,
It's
I
like
know.
all the pieces are there. In the same token, I do see benefit. I mean, I do see people that would go to the park and, potentially use them. It's gonna take them longer to get a charge. It's gonna, all of those things. I see people using it. Maybe it's more of a draw for our park. I don't know, but it's just not generally where you're seeing them, I think, being placed.
Right.
So I don't know. I'm okay putting it, I mean, again, just the sheer fact that we're off the interstate, right? And then if you really do, you can walk to Walmart. It's,
Oh, sure, yeah.
you can get on the trail and work your way there. It's not that big, it's not that challenging. So I wanted to just know what our option, what did the bigger picture options look like and what,
Yeah.
so I don't know. I think I'd still support moving it forward because I think it does fit our goals and that sort of thing. But I would want us to consider or to continue working on seeing what we can do, whether it's with the Colby properties, and just ask them, maybe they see that as a benefit too, for the folks at Apple Valley to, throw those in. Again, there's lots of things within walking distance.
And Maddie did talk to Brian.
Oh, okay.
We did talk to Brian Sheriff about.
Yeah, that's how I got the contacts. Yep.
They preferred the Walmart parking lot somewhere there.
Mhm.
Sure.
We talked with
I think it
them.
comes down to parking because you are
Sure,
gonna lose
right. They
at
don't wanna-
least 4, right? So,
Right. And they already have tight parking there.
yeah.
So, okay. All right. I just didn't want you to think I didn't want to do it because that's not at all what I'm suggesting. I'm just like, how do you get the biggest bang for your buck?
Yeah, it was ideal to put it in Sam's.
Right.
And so if one day we wanted to improve the infrastructure or the electricity to this location, what would we have to do?
I don't know, I'd have to ask Mid-American, because what we do is go ask them, we tell them a spot and they give us an cost estimate to run power needed for whatever level charger you put in there. I didn't ask, I don't know where the level, you probably have, it probably come from Sam's Club unless there's something on University that's bigger where the need is.
All right. Any further discussion or questions? Hearing none, roll call.
Spears,
Yes.
Libby,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Harms.
Yes.
6C, a consideration of resolution number 2023-38, a resolution approving end of year FY 23 balance transfers.
Second.
Rochelle, anything?
No, just that these are the normal everyday year end. I can't believe it's already year end.
Right.
Balance transfers. And these are just to pay like our bond and our bond fees and interest. And then some of this is moving the ATE funds into the Colby Park project. Finally doing that. Our local option sales tax, moving that from there into the places where it needs to go. It's just the things we had agreed on with the budget for FY 23. So this just wraps it up.
Okay, any questions, discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Spears,
Yes.
Libby,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Harms.
Yes.
6D, consideration of pay request number 1, public safety parking lot improvements.
What improvements?
Something going on here?
You're paying for the improvements, the structures. Someone going to make a motion?
So moved.
Yeah, I was like,
Second.
Okay.
Just, I thought maybe I missed that.
Any questions or discussion? Justin, do you have anything to report?
This is his first estimate. They said they'd be starting this week, forming up. Hopefully the rain holds off and doesn't cause an issue like it has been in other places. So this is the first pay estimate for that.
Any questions?
The idea when this-
They're hoping to get in this week and start forming up and start pouring if the weather cooperates. I'm guessing that the next meeting probably, unless you do it like this and it worked out, that's fine. But time you allow the concrete to cure, it's going to be a little bit. I don't think you'd be able to park there for the next meeting. So that's a decision. This works out or have a Zoom, but
Can we put our finger in hand prints? I know.
Yeah, we could go out there and sign things.
that's up to you, I guess.
All right. Any other questions?
I've seen that done when I didn't ask people to do it. So
Hearing none, roll call.
things you didn't want to see.
Spears,
Yes.
Libby,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Harms.
Yes.
6E, consideration of pay request number 1, PCC patching project. Justin?
So this is probably the first, and the next one will most likely just be retainage because they have finished except for redoing a couple ped ramps off of 70th, which they're there now digging up and replacing. So
Other questions or discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Spears, yes. Libby,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Yes.
6F, consideration of pay request number 1, HMA resurfacing project.
Move to approve.
Justin?
similar, they're all done, just waiting to see if a little bit of grass will grow and then yes, the last one will be closing it down and don't laugh.
A little bit of grass will grow.
I know, it needs to rain and do some better things.
Any further or any questions or discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
I know,
Yes.
right?
Libby,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Harms.
Yes.
This isn't mine.
He doesn't get the money.
Yeah, this isn't mine.
All right, 7A, reports.
Well, nice.
May 17th, Counselors Gatto from Des Moines, Murray from Pleasant Hill, David Jodes from Ankeny, and I met at the MPO to discuss editing and updating the employee handbook. On the 19th, I met with Kate Brockmeyer from Cultural an organization that's responsible for putting together DEI trainings, events, workshops, et cetera. They do a number of events with Des Moines Public Library. They're involved with Bravo and a number of special events across the metro. I know Special Events has been interested in or discussing a cultural event where we try to bring together all of the diverse businesses in our community for some sort of food festival or the like. And so I had a nice introductory chat with her. I had an opportunity to attend and volunteer at Touch a Truck last Friday, despite concerns about the weather, which was beautiful. We had a tremendous turnout. Thank you to Councilor Scaries and Campbell, the Special Events Committee, Public Works, Public Safety, PD, FD, Mid-American, Norwalk Fire Department, the volunteers, et cetera, for making such a great event. MAC is next Tuesday. Mayor's meeting is next Wednesday. We'll be discussing DEI and sustainability efforts. And the Mid-Iowa Planning Alliance for Community Development, better known as MIPA, will be meeting, I believe, next Friday. Ms. Harms.
Yeah, so you just said MAC meets next week, so that, well, I'm sure we'll get another legislative wrap up of some sort, not that the governor has signed all of her bills, understand the implications of the tax bill. Need to probably schedule a communication committee meeting. I've been thinking about that. The newsletter for June, did it go to print today? Did it get shipped? Not till tomorrow. So if anybody has any, okay. Otherwise, I believe that's in good shape. And otherwise, I have been, I coordinated some meetings for our candidates with the school districts. So, and some employer groups. So that's it. I will not be there on Friday night. So, but I'll be there Saturday.
Ms. Campbell.
No updates, but thanks to, especially to Susan for all of the planning and to Rochelle and staff for executing on the Touch a Truck event. The turnout exceeded expectations, I think. And thank you again to Mayor Jones for volunteering as well. And I think, did the Special Events Committee meet since our last? I'm losing track of time. But Fall Festival plans are underway soon. The signups for the parade will be online and more to come.
Anything from you, Aaron?
No, sorry, wow, that was a curveball. I'm like, wait, who's Aaron?
It's keeping you on your toes after a few years of, never having to answer any questions. So, Mr. Libby.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Having just gotten back from 6 days in Nevada, a little foggy, but Michelle and I had a conversation this morning, so I will be with you all on Friday and Saturday. Friday night, Saturday it looks like an all-day opportunity. And Chief Roth has been gracious enough to accept my invitation to have coffee on the 17th at the grounds for celebration of meet. All I have.
Ms. Scaries?
I met with Luke from Health World, and we discussed a lot of collaboration that we will be doing here for special events. Also directed her to some of the contacts that we have with Metro Waste and DART, places that she's been looking at kind of having come into their little space. They're doing an event June 26th, I believe, at Paris Bonny. And she asked if I would be the greeter. So I get to greet people at the door and hand them their nice little name card so that they know who they are. The Touch a Truck, thank you to Chief Neese and Chief Roth and everybody who attended. I think we had 250 to 300 people. So we've kind of made a decision that we will make this into just a single event because it seems to be pretty successful. So that's it.
Michelle, anything from you?
Just that on your, in your packet of stuff on the table is a menu for Saturday. If you guys can fill that out and give it to me before I leave tonight, that would be great. And then just get ready for Saturday, Friday and Saturday. All good.
All right. Entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Roll call.
Yes, Libby.
Yes.
Campbell.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, council.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you, gentlemen, for doing, taking care of summer rocks too at Clive Learning Academy. So if I got one more email or text about confirming that, I was gonna,
Oh, they came to me instead.
I know, right after they
I know,
text me
I know, of course.
again.
There's always a way, right? You always find a person.
I said, I've confirmed this like 5 times. What do you need? Like, this is ridiculous is what it was. Silly.
What did you think about Cassandra's proposal regarding the?
Oh, this is, so this is part of my, and I know I'm open to her coming with recommendations. That's fine. But maybe just for future references, when we're looking at, can we extend these meetings? And do, I mean, I'm just thinking, like, I don't know if that works